There's something that I want to talk about today. It's something I want to share with you because it's really been pressing on me lately. And that is, if you have a goal or a vision, a dream for your life, and maybe that goal or that dream or that vision, you've been working at it, but it seems so much larger than you. And it seems that, even though you want it, and even though maybe you've been trying to achieve it, every single time you push forward and every single time that you try to go after it, you just can't seem to make it work. And yet, even worse, you may even have people around you that are achieving those things, that are going after what they want, and they're actually getting them. And it's leaving you feeling like, man, maybe I'm not meant for this, maybe this is not my purpose. Maybe I need to just become realistic, okay? And I don't care what your goal is. So if you have a goal, you have a dream, I don't care if it's to rule the world one day. I don't care if it's to build a company that revolutionizes an industry, to become worth $1 billion. I don't care if it's to be an actor, a musician, a teacher, a doctor, a lawyer. It doesn't matter what your dream is, but if you have something that's huge, I have to tell you this, don't give up. Don't give up. Listen, in life, the bigger our dreams, the bigger our goals and visions for ourselves, the bigger the obstacles. It's not going to be easy. Okay, if you have a goal or a dream that is large, that's bigger than yourself, I can promise you that you're going to face obstacles. And I'm not just talking about small obstacles. I'm talking about obstacles that completely shift you, that completely are brick walls in your way. And you have to figure out, how do I get over this? How do I get around it? And you may be chipping at it. You may be working at it, trying to knock that thing down, but it just doesn't seem to budge. Don't give up. You see, when it comes to goals and it comes to dreams and visions, the greatest way of achieving success in anything that you want in life is consistency, even more so over intensity. And what tends to happen is when we have a goal or a vision or a dream for ourselves, we get really excited and we start thinking of all these things that we can do for our life. It's like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and this because I know that when I do those things, that should generate success. And we start doing them for a little bit, and then we start noticing hey, I don't see change. Or maybe you see a little bit of change, but it's so small, and you're like, nothing's happening. Success is about long-term consistency. Long-term consistency. You see, the thing is, every single time we take an action in life, there is an effect. Whether it's a positive action or a negative action, there's an effect. The thing is, it's so small that we typically don't see it. But you see, here's what happens. Here's what really differentiates people who end up going after what they want, facing obstacles, because here's the deal. Every single person, I don't care who it is that you emulate, that you want to emulate, who you idolize, who you want to be like, I can promise you that they face obstacles. And they face more obstacles probably than 99.99% of the people around them. Okay? But here's the difference. What separates those people from all the other people who maybe try to go after their dreams, but then after a few obstacles fall off, is that they know that the secret to success is long-term consistency. Because here's what happens. You see, every action that you do has a little effect. Okay? But the problem is it's so small you don't even see it. Alright, let's say for instance, if you were to go and eat a Snickers bar tonight, you wouldn't immediately gain 40 pounds, be overweight and unhealthy. You would eat the Snickers bar and you'd be like, okay, great. I don't look any different. I don't really feel any different. I'm fine. But there was an effect that happened with that decision that you made. But see, here's what happens. Every time I make a decision, a little effect happens. It's so small that you can't see it. But the thing is, after days and days and days, weeks and weeks, months and months, years and years, what happens is those decisions, they begin to compound over time. Those effects keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And what happens is that over the course of time, those decisions that you make every single day, and those very minuscule, almost invisible effects that that are happening with your actions, they're beginning to grow. They're festering under, they're building up, and eventually you get this massive differentiation. And that's what separates the people who succeed and those who don't. Listen, I totally understand. When you have a goal, you have a dream, you have a vision for your life, it's hard, okay? You get excited, you're all motivated, you're amped, you're ready to go, and you go after it, and you have so much passion behind it. And there's so much that you want to achieve and so much you want to do. But you try and you try and you try, and it just doesn't seem like something's working out. I can promise you, it's happening. Okay, you're not seeing the results because it's still in the invisible phase. If you keep with it long enough, those effects will begin to surface. You'll see the changes happening in your life if you do it long enough. The problem is where you're at right now is that you haven't done what you're doing long enough. It takes time. You guys, greatness doesn't come in a day. It doesn't come in a month. Greatness is a lifelong journey. And the more you keep doing it, the greater it becomes. It's not something that you make a decision on, you take some action, all of a sudden you're like, great, my life is radically changed, and I'm great. I've created greatness for myself. That's not how it works. But here's how you do it. Here's how you keep pushing forward. You see, one of the reasons why I always talk about having a morning routine is this specific reason. The problem is that every day we go out and we try to achieve our goals, we try to achieve our dreams, we're having obstacles hit us. We have all these negative influences, all these negative forces that are constantly coming at us, time and time again. So what happens is that over time, if we're not constantly feeding our mind, constantly keeping ourselves motivated, eventually the weeds keep growing so much that it overtakes the garden, it overtakes our mind. And we say, you know what? Forget it. I'm done. I've tried it. I'm not talented enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not good looking enough. I'm not whatever it is that you say in your mind to justify why you're not getting. I didn't come from the right family. I didn't have the right connections. Well, only people with money make it. Whatever it is. Morning routines are huge, and in your morning routine, you have to make sure every day that you envision what it is that you want for your life. Picture it, see it, smell it, taste it, whatever you can do, but you've got to spend 5-10 minutes every single day envisioning what it is that you want for your life. You've got to re-motivate yourself. You see, motivation doesn't last. So you constantly, every single day, have to be doing something to keep yourself motivated. Keep envisioning what it is that you want and make sure you have a strong why. You see, sometimes it's hard to follow through because our reasons aren't strong enough. We don't have an emotional attachment that's strong enough to keep going after our goals. If it's just for vanity, if your goal is to get a six-pack and it's just so you can look hot, that might not be enough, okay? Because when time gets tough, you might start realizing like, hey, you know what, I want to look good, but at the same time, I don't want to go through all this. This really sucks. Like, this is a lot of work. It's not worth it. But what if I said that your mother or your dad's life depended on it, or your sister or your brother or someone that you really cared about? What if their life depended on you achieving a certain goal or physique? Now this sounds a little extreme, and yes, in this example it may be extreme, but my point is that we always do more for others than we do for ourselves. So whatever goal it is, not only do it for yourself, and it's fine to do it for yourself, but make sure that you're doing it for something outside of yourself, something that's greater than yourself. Make sure you have that morning routine that you do every single morning. This is going to make a radical difference in your ability to follow through. And keep asking those pain and pleasure questions. Keep telling yourself, what's going to happen if I don't achieve my goals? What is my life going to end up like? What am I sacrificing? What am I going to be missing out on in life if I don't keep going after what I want? And then ask yourself, what is it that I'm going to get once I achieve it? How am I going to feel? What am I going to have? What kind of opportunities is it going to provide me? You have to ask these questions every day, and you have to motivate yourself every single day. You can't just get yourself motivated one day out of the year and then expect to be motivated for the next 364 days out of the year. That's not how it works. Even successful people know that. Successful people are always doing things to continue to motivate themselves, to get those weeds out of the mind, because they will grow if you don't tend to the garden. Listen, don't give up. I know it's hard, and I know that at times it just doesn't seem like it's worth it anymore. But if it is truly something that you know that you want, that speaks to you, that when you think about it, it fuels you, I promise you that you were meant for it. Now here's the deal. It may not happen in the exact pathway that you want it to, okay? You may have an idea of how it's supposed to look and how you're going to get there, but life may have a different thing for you. It may have you take some detours. It may have you go down another road and do something else for a little bit and then eventually kick back over. Don't give up. Sometimes in life we take different direction. Life sends us in other areas because sometimes there's things that we have to learn, there's things that we have to go through in order to not only achieve what we want, to be able to handle and maintain what we want. That's a huge thing, people. So don't give up. I know you can do this. I know this is meant for you. Don't give up. Keep at it. Get out there, keep pushing. Find those strong reasons why. Do those morning routines. Keep yourself motivated. I promise you, if you do it long enough and you use that compound success principle, you keep doing those daily disciplines every day, it's going to happen in some form or another. You just got to give it enough time.